Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, my friends. This is Geraldo Lemos Neto from Belo Horizonte, Brazil. We are here to do the program To Know Spiritism number 64. I have the help from Marco Gandra as well. Welcome to this program at Kardec Radio, DSN, and Discover Spiritism Network, and also Spiritism Dissemination. Today, we are going to talk about this beautiful message from the Spirit of Emmanuel through Chico Xavier's psychography named God's Logic. This page was originally published in Portuguese at the book Our Father and was translated into English by the Christian Spiritist Center of Allen College, North Carolina, in 1966, and it was the first translation into English in the United States. God's logic. On earth, first, there is a phrase from the gospel at the letters from the Paul apostle, Paul of Tarsus, that was written to the Hebrews on chapter 10, verse 32. After ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of affliction, from the Apostle Paul. And Emmanuel talk about this phrase in this beautiful message, God's Logic. On earth, we sincerely religious are usually looked upon as a group of suffering people. Some even claim to avoid the contact with religious circles for fear of contagion by the difficulties of a spiritual life. What actually happens is that unbelievers, as well as the proud and the ignorant, make an outer display in life with their involvement in worldly illusions. But as they draw near to heavenly truth, and before they can have the permanent joys of higher spirituality, they go through phases of prolonged phenomena like sadness, depressions, and gloom. This, however, is a natural phenomenon. For after falling, there is always thought and retrospection. After excesses, there is remorse. But the problem demands a broader scope of analysis. God's merciful justice transcends human understanding. The Father gives his ignorant and wayward children the right to more challenging experiences in life only when they have reached sufficient enlightenment, when they have learned to see with the eyes of the eternal Spirit? Will life show them different values? Then a new strength is born in their heart that will bring them victory after the great battle against adversities. Despite outer appearances, the souls of the frivolous and opportunists are usually as brittle as the dry branches of a tree, which crack as soon as they are hit by a storm. Enlightened spirits, on the other hand, being aware of this, withstand the stormy weather of the earth journey, for it is only the light of the Spirit that can guide us to victory in our tests. Certainly, no one would assign to mere children the responsibility to command a ship which is to overcome great dangers and difficulties. Emmanuel. So that's God's logic. For the frivolous, for the children, for not spiritual people, for the ones that focus only on the material life, they cannot understand us. The religious people that are sincerely walking towards the pathway of Jesus Christ, our Lord, the pathway of the truth, of the reality of the immortal soul, of the challenges that we must overcome and surpass to our own good. And by God's logic, as just wrote the Spirit of Emmanuel, when we are hit by the problems, when we can understand our excesses and bring up our remorses, and when we have prolonged phases of sadness, depressions, and gloom in our own lives, because we understand that we must progress towards the light. God gives us the strength, the courage to overcome all difficulties and to have faith, an enlightened faith in our good Father, so that we all will see all the struggles with patience, with calm, with the spiritual understanding that we need to have in our minds and in our hearts. Let this beautiful message by the Spirit of Emmanuel through Chico Xavier mediumship enlighten our lives today and forever. Thank you for watching, and see you next week. This was the program To Know Spiritism, number 64. Have you all a very good night. Bye-bye.